Cars Channel News and Review Car.
(2017) Alpina B4 S Biturbo. When you line up the number of tuning firms who specialize on BMWs, you'll inevitably come across Alpina, which technically started as an aftermarket company before turning into a manufacturer of its own after years of close ties with BMW. In fact, Alpina and BMW have become partners of sorts since most of the former's models are integrated into the latter's production lines, including the Alpina B7, which rolls from the same facility as the BMW 7 Series. That's how far this relationship has come, and the German Ministry of Transport even recognizes it as such, designating Alpina as an automaker instead of an aftermarket specialist. History lesson aside, Alpina is headed to the 2017 Geneva Motor Show with a number of its latest creations, one of which is the B4 S Biturbo, an interpretation of the 4 Series according to the specifications of Alpina. Like most models to come out of Alpina, the B4 S Biturbo is technically a 4 Series, and the process by which Alpina uses to create the car isn't too different from what expert BMW tuners like AC Schnitzer do. So while it is technically an automaker, Alpina's methods are still closer to AC Schnitzer than it is to BMW, hence the approach we've taken here. The car itself is what you'd come to expect from Alpina. Like the B7 before it, the B4 S Biturbo is loaded with upgrades on all sections of the car, right down to the aerodynamic body kit and the engine upgrade that puts the B4 S Turbo's power right up there with the BMW M4. All told, the B4 S Biturbo is a car that's worth our attention, not only because it's an Alpina badge model that's based on the BMW 4 Series, but more importantly, because it checks off a lot of boxes on what we'd like to see the aftermarket world do to the 4 Series in the first place. May not be evident at first glance, but the Alpina B4 S Biturbo received a heavy dose of cosmetic and aerodynamic upgrades. On the aesthetic front, the German tuner is making its project car available in 2 distinct colors, blue metallic and green metallic, that it had a hand in personally creating, hence the exclusive label attached to each of the 2 colors. If customers aren't too keen on either color, there is an option to instead get paint finishes from either BMW itself or the company's personalization division, BMW Individual. Since this is Alpina we're talking about here, you can also expect the tuner's recognizable decorative stripes included in the package. Alas, we see the stripes in all their glory running down the length of the B4 S Biturbo's body. The tuner does offer an option to add the stripes in the front of the car in a choice between silver and gold colors. The Alpina B4 S Biturbo received a heavy dose of cosmetic and aerodynamic upgrades. Okay. Now let's move on to the aerodynamic enhancements, which may be limited in quantity, but still significant enough to affect the overall quality of the car. Up front, there's a new front spoiler with an Alpina logo right smack in the middle of it, and at the back, there's a new rear spoiler. Together, the 2 components not only create a more aggressive-looking 4 Series, but more importantly, they help enhance the coupe's overall aerodynamic qualities. Rest assured, if a prospective customer wants to maximize the work Alpina put into the 4 Series, these aero bits will go a long way in addressing that. The last piece of business as far as this section is concerned is the new set of 19 or 20-inch wheels. Customers can choose between the 2 sizes, both dressed in Alpina's classic multi-spoke look. What other tuners are offering? It's hard to rival what Alpina has to offer. But fortunately, there are other tuners in the game that offer aerodynamic programs of their own. JMS, for example, has a front lip spoiler and integrated central diffuser on its menu. Then, of course, there's AC Schnitzer, which counts as one of Alpina's peers in the BMW tuning scene. No surprise then that the German tuner's upgrades include a new front spoiler and a new rear diffuser that provide improved ground adhesion for the German coupe. Carbon mirror covers, a rear skirt protective film, and a chromed front grille for 4 Series Gran Coupe M Technic models are also available to anybody willing to get them. Befitting its status as one of the best BMW tuners in the business, Alpina spared no expense in giving the B4 S Biturbo a swanky interior upgrade. The tuner apparently prides itself on offering no limits on the possibilities of design and configuration of a car's interior, and it's evident with all the luxury pieces and posh trims available for the 4 Series. First up is the interior trim, which Alpina is offering in either traditional fine wood or modern piano lacquer. There's also the option to cover the interior trim in either sporty carbon leather or lavlina, a bespoke material that's exclusive to the master craftsmen over at Alpina. Small details to the interior are also traditional Alpina additions to a lot of its projects. In the case of the B4 S Biturbo, the tuner added items like door sills, metal emblems in the seat backrests and in the floor mats, and since the car is of a limited edition variety, exclusive production plaques with each model having a specific build number. Those additions come on top of other additions like the tuner's classic diagonal ROM applications in the seat backrests, embossings, and other decorative elements. Completing the interior upgrades is a new hand-finished sports steering wheel that can also be covered in lavlina leather with contrast stitching in blue and green. Even better, customers can personalize the steering wheel of their car depending on their personal tastes. What other tuners are offering? I think it's safe to say that Alpina's interior work on the 4 Series is as extensive as it's going to get for the sports coupe. It's not that other tuners like AC Schnitzer don't have anything to contribute, it's just that apart from the usual minor knickknacks like aluminum pedals, floor mats, and brake handles, the options are pretty slim pickings. There are some exceptions like Hamann, which provides its own extensive menu of interior upgrades. Just remember the words premium leather, Alcantara, and carbon fiber. There's a pretty good chance that Hamann has those bits and pieces available for the 4 Series. What BMW is offering? It's safe to say that BMW's interior upgrade options are better than most of what customers are likely to get in the aftermarket tuning scene. Take the aforementioned Sportline package for example. Not only does it come with an anthracite headliner and coral red interior with leather sport seats, it also includes red-trimmed instrument dials and a red-stitched steering wheel. Likewise, the M Performance Parts package is another option worth considering, just as it is on the exterior of the 4 Series. Those elements detailed above are complemented by interior upgrades made up of an Alcantara-wrapped dashboard and steering wheel, carbon fiber trim on the gearshift and handbrake levers, and stainless steel pedal covers and footrest, as well as M Performance floor mats. Last but not least is BMW Individual, which as many of you already know, literally has a shopper's list of exclusive upgrades. Where else would you be able to get seats, dash, and door panels wrapped in something like an opal white, fine-grain merino leather? That's just a small sample of what customers can choose from as far as BMW Individual is concerned. Alpina's reputation is as rock solid as any tuner that's out there, and even saying that feels like an understatement. The truth is that the German tuner is good at what it does, especially when it comes to BMW models. That's a big reason why the B4 S Biturbo is as well prepared a program as we've seen for the BMW 4 Series. It covers a lot of ground without stepping outside the lines, thus creating an ideal marriage of exterior, interior, drivetrain, and suspension upgrades that combine to create an impressive interpretation of the 4 Series.